Off the pickup on Keyboy. Wait, no. This is a Rome, Edith.
Yeah, it went Rome.
It's an old flame for Luke. That's a Uranus.
Now we're gonna see here because these are.
Alrighty, here we go, ready to jump into the Land of Dawn. Game number one here again. We're jumping back into the game here, so finally able to kick it off once again. Best of 3, quarterfinal match number 4. And a little update to throw to our viewers as well, some of the games that are going on right now.
Yep.
We did get word, I believe, some of the 1-0s are happening, some of the first games are done, so they should be into their second matches. This one is game number 1 though. And are we jumping back into this game? Okay, we're back into it, we're moving around mid-action right now. Keyboy, go ahead, just doing some damage early on. This is the thing too, we haven't seen the Edith roam as much as we used to in the past.
No, it's been a pick that kind of has disappeared from the meta, man. The Edith in the roam position. Most of the times you use it in XP, but it is still a very, very good flex pick. And this time around, Indonesia will be utilizing Keyboy, the key moment maker of Indonesia, on the Edith. Early on, Xora, you can already see the little bit, the advantage, I would say, that the Alpha has now compared to the Suya when it comes to clear after the hot fix.
It's pretty fast still. Right, the Alpha has always been known. Whoa, okay, mid-action.
Earthshatter and the Flicker earlier there with Albert as well. A little bit of a miscommunication and a misinput, it seems, for Indonesia early on.
Yeah, to start things up, if they can get that first blood, either of these teams, like you said, is going to be very momentum-based. This matchup, more so in the XP lane, kind of a dead matchup. You're not going to really see anyone go down or too much happen between the Hilda and the Uranus unless there's some support through one of the jungles to come up, and it looks like, you at least have Albert on that top side, but eventually that first objective comes up, and that's where you see, who's got these level 4s available, who's got these ultimates that they can actually utilize for the fight. And when it does come through, again, you're looking at the sustainability that a Rafaela provides to this lineup for Mongolia. So if they can play into that, they wait a little bit longer to get things set up, they should have somewhat of an advantage for the fight. But again, as long as they deal with that death box coming out from Sands here, Keyboy doesn't have the level 4 just yet, so he's going to give the information. And right now, both junglers just focusing on the buffs. They'll grab that and then make their way for this objective here. You can already see it. Getting in position, Mongolia. Luke, given the information.
Oh, a lot of damage placed. Spear of Alpha already connecting onto Luke, but again, use it onto Luke. I think Indonesia's going to be very happy. Onward in the Earthshatter, locking him down. Ison, very, very low. Caught the real room inflation, but still has a sprint to escape. Keyboy now going to get all that damage placed onto him. First blood over to Mongolia. Luke, gotta find an angle. Orbit. Go for the forest, Spear of Alpha now towards Albert. We bursted down. Indonesia losing 2. Purify out from Luke. He's trying to dish out some damage together with Sans. Over to the Turtle. Retribution not ready just yet. Still, Xora picks it up. Luke picks up a kill back, but it's traded again. 3-1 plus the Turtle for Mongolia.
And that was the passive coming out from the Rafaela to clean that up. And that was a great take for Mongolia. We were talking about building the momentum early on, and that, man, Miracle, that just proved how much value those heals alone actually really help out. They extended the fight enough where even Luke, as tanky as he is, as even having a tenacity and the Brave Smite emblem, he took quite a bit of damage. And at some point, again, the concentration is going to be gone. You're going to run out of some of the resources that you have, and you just get out-sustained and outgunned. So Mongolia, they get a little bit of lead that they can work around with. A couple, confidence kills in that too. Mid lane.
Wrap use up. Orbit will match it. Real room inflation out the Holy Baptism to lock him down as Xora picks another kill up for Mongolia.
So they pick it up. They move around from this point. Great start. Again, early game. Indonesia can still go ahead and try to find their footing at this point, but with this and how we were just painting the picture leading into this match, when you get a lead like this and you can build into it, either of the compositions are going to work.
Alpha over to Luke, good stun over from Albert. Xora picking up some damage, Earthshatter over towards Xora, very low, chased out by Luke, but still able to escape for now. Luke picks the kill up, now going to be terrified, still able to pick up some damage. Our Wilderness already with a flicker out from Ethan. Albert with a snipe, unable to get the full kill down. That's an onward, bringing Ison back all the way towards the rest of Indonesia. And they're able to get 2 kills on the board.
A good response coming out from Indonesia. Even with the sprint, Ison not able to get away. And that's, that's always kind of the unfortunate thing when you are playing the Hilda. As great, as hot as she is right now, like Leo mentioned.
Super hot.
Super hot. First picked, by the way, for this blue side for Mongolia in game number 1. you can still get caught, even if you're sprinting out. And again, that's why the Edith was such a good pick, because with the Onward, with the Earth Shatter, if you can kind of follow through that, even if the real-world manipulation isn't used, you can still catch Aizen if you need to. Really, you can catch multiple people from Mongolia with that. So once again, second objective for the taking, second turtle, half health here.
Sora trying to look for an opening. Good Onward from Keyboy. As the turtle secured, now it's done over to Aizen. The rotation should be able to get the weakness points. Albert, Soul Sever, picks up the kill. That's a kill and a turtle. Meanwhile, though, Garo playing for the Moscow split push up top.
I don't know, man. You know, we talked about Suyo getting some of those nerfs. Still seems pretty good right now. I mean, look at the damage.
Crazy damage. Garo already forced to half HP. Meanwhile, CW given some space in the bottom lane.
All right, with the Valentina that we see so often, if you look across from this, the best choice really for the ultimates to be able to take, yeah, Aizen, oh no.
Good Onward over to Aizen. No Revitalize, so Indonesia could have gone for the commitment there, but CW will respect it, doesn't know where the rest of the team is.
It's going to be fine. They're just trying to hold down the turrets that they can, but you can see that, right? There's already pressure on the tier 2. Forbid holding on to the Primal Wrath, and that's what I was going to ask earlier, like, you know, if you're Forbid, you most likely, the majority of the time, you want to have your own real-world manipulation to fight in. This is a big item, big up, by the way. Flask of the Oasis, now picked up here for Ethan, helping with that sustainability a little bit more. It looks like they want to fight this out.
Onward gets pushed down. Mirabal as well, just committing down onto Keyboy.
That was some speed, too. Like, that again, this is what you have when you have a Rafaela on your side. Not only with the heals, even that Flask picked up, but also the ability to roam and just kind of move around the map as quick as you want. So they're actually going to go ahead and trade things out here. Top turret goes down. Indonesia claims that one, and Mongolia will take the bottom tier 1 turret now in the bottom lane. So you can already see it, damage kind of falling into place, and this is where Mongolia has to kind of play catch-up. They got to be able to get to where they need to be. And this is what we talked about the whole time, guys. Luke will do this all game. You can't ignore him, but also at one point, you've kind of got to deal with him. You can't just let Luke continuously push in the lanes, because then next thing you know, you don't have any turrets left. And now the last turtle of the game comes up. It's started up by Indonesia.
Earth Shadow over Zixora earlier. They're going to focus it down. Only got some mana. The Spirit of Alpha already used it. Now Aizen walking up with the crossbow. Tank is ready. Zixora jumping in the back line, but Sounds will pick up a kill. That's CW in the back just tearing it apart. And Forbid will be executed by Albert, who jumps in with a blade. Now it's Garo all isolated. It's a double for Sans and a wipeout for Indonesia.
That was tough, man. That was a not the most synergized initiation from Mongolia, even with the Spear of Misery coming in a little bit late, where Garo just shows up and he's like, oh no, everybody's dead. That's tough to deal with at that point, so Mongolia is going to lose a massive swing in terms of momentum. You can see it, Indonesia gets that last objective, the turtle down, plus some turrets now, and they play into this. Hold on, Luke.
Gotta go on to him. Purify out, baits out a whole lot of resources. And the Suyo, Albert, up top, was able to just shove in for the way to be set up for another siege.
That's that power of the Purify we talked about earlier, especially when it's available. And then you have the Consecration. Here's an item we don't see often. The Malefic Gun is picked up by CW.
Over to Sans, still able to escape the real world. And we'll get through into the game again. Forbid picks up the kill over to Sans with a stolen RWM. And again, yeah, there's not really much they can do. Maybe put pressure on the middle lane turret, but that's it, right? No neutral objective to be taken here.
Well, I mean, when you're looking at the lineup, right, and every time you're up against the Eve, that was what the panel even talked about. You know, do you have enough to play that cat and mouse game? Do you have enough to go ahead and fight for these objectives? And for Mongolia, when you look at them across the board, as long as they approach those fights, that Lord fight that does come up in under a minute here, as a cat and mouse game where you're trying to just hunt for that right moment, trying to, you know, swivel your way through that real-world manipulation, that might be the chance.
Hold on, Purify is taking a whole lot of damage. Maybe again overextending. Luke will lose his life. That's 27 seconds on the death timers. And again, I don't think it's enough to really give Mongolia a chance to go for the Lord just yet. The Spirit of Alpha over to Keyboy, still able to disengage. Real world manipulation locks him down. Aizen still able to escape. Keyboy with a flicker forward, plus the Primal Wrath. Both just baiting out resources from one another.
Mongolia really wants to fight, man. That's what I'm noticing. They just want to go ahead and duke it out, brawl it out with Indonesia. It doesn't matter if they were behind, 5,000 gold earlier on. They managed to pick up a couple kills now off of Sands, off of Luke earlier. So it gives them a little more leeway to work with. The Lord is up now. And this is where we have to see how do they play that macro game too. They're going to send Garu up to deal with that top wave, but they're just going to give it a go on the Lord.
Yeah, he's getting blitzed now by Zixora. That's the power of the Alpha when it comes to the Lord clear. Luke in the midst of it all. Now, it's going to be a knockoff from the Lord. Ethan,
there's a
spear. Escape for a bit. The Spear of Destruction will land as well, but Zixora picks it up, winning the retreat battle. Aizen very low. San still looking for an angle to go for the poke. Primal Wrap from Orbit. CW re-engaging. Luke walking up. CW with the killing spree. Now on the chase onto Ethan. Zixora will be able to get the holy healing from Ethan to disengage, and that's a Lord for Mongolia.
Hey, great pickup objectively for Mongolia to play into. Even to the point where Garu didn't have to follow through with the SOD. Like, he just landed and he's got the call. Like, you know what, we got this under control. Go ahead and farm up and do what you need to do. And that's, again, what they have to do for this game and how they decide to take these fights. I'm surprised with how decisive Mongolia was to be like, you know what, let's just start up this Lord, take it down as fast as we can, and then win that fight. And so they're going to play into this. This is what they've needed for the past few minutes, right? They might still be down in gold, but you can see how you got to respect what this lineup can do against the lineup that Indonesia has. Tier 1 in the mid finally goes down. C. Albert also picked up by CW to help with some of that sustainability, that healing coming out from Ethan. Crucial items here too picked up, and even to the sense, like, we haven't seen a huge crossbow of tank just yet. That could change some of these later fights that we get to this. You might see them kind of set things up here.
The thing about the 1-1 here in the current meta, Naisu, is you actually fall off, right? You think about the crossbow tank, it's a big ultimate, it can be game-changing. But in the later stage, 11 minutes onwards, we're going to see a lot more Winter Crowns, and we already see it for Zixora. He's already picked up the Winter Crown. It's going to be a good way to actually neutralize the crossbow tank threat.
That Winter Crown, it deals with the Wan so well, and I think part of that too is, like, if you can just get them, that might be part of the game plan, for Indonesia and for CW alone, is just get that crossbow of Tang off so you can proc, like force the proc with the Winter of Crowns, force Mongolia to use it, and then you follow through after that. So at this point, Boy was in concealed, not going to connect, but the turret does go down.
With an Earth Shatter early, now with the Primal Wrap as well. Good Spear of Alpha on the 2. Zixora still now going to be caught, pops in with a crown. Luke purifies out of there. Good bait from Luke. Now it's going to be Garo taking a whole lot of damage. CW just picks him up. Orbit looking forward. CW will be able to survive, getting the shielding, I believe, from the Rose Gold Meteor. He's got Rose Gold, dog.
He's got Rose Gold. He's got everything. He's got the 4 kills. He didn't even have to crossbow of Tang off. He's just doing enough damage at this point, too. And so with that, again, Indonesia will go in the swing, now knocking the base turrets of Mongolia in this game 1. They're looking to possibly finish it here.
Another wave to help Mongolia. Here, Aizen, I don't know if he can clear it up just with a Rafaela. 7 seconds on Garo. That's 2 for Zixora. That's 2 base turrets taken down for Indonesia. They must disengage now. They should be happy with that.
Okay.
14 seconds for the Enhanced Lord to spawn in the game.
They buy themselves some more time in the game. Look at this big gap, even between the junglers. We talked about the Alpha and the Suyo matchup quite a bit. We see it so often, but Albert also was just able to scale up really quickly here. Here's another Malefic Gun picked up now by Garu. So he's got that. You can see how the gold has fallen into place, and now once again, objectively, the Lord for the take. Zixora won't land that spear, so they might be forced off of this. It looks like already Indonesia's going to force them off of the Lord the best they can. You have Garu now down towards the mid. How do they play this out? About a half health on the Lord for now.
It's a window of opportunity with no hold on Zixora. They just burst him down with a real manipulation. Keyboy went in for initiation earlier. Now it's a crossbow tank ready. They buy the Winter Crown, but it's a bit too late as Ethan will just get disintegrated by the crossbow attack. Another chase forward as Albert will try to get the Soul Sever. Not in range, but they've wiped out Mongolia in a way. It's just Garo. There's a few waves coming down. They're going to try to manage it for all of it to crash down together.
They already know. They're getting in formation here. Indonesia ready to end the game. The minions marching in.
Let's see if Garo can make a miracle play. Luke will just tank it up. He gets stunned up, and there's the inevitable wipeout to come for Indonesia in game number 1. It's a 1-0 lead now in a best of 3. Remember, single elimination.
Took us a little bit to get to, but we got through game number 1. Again, 14 minutes and 13 seconds. Indonesia to go ahead and cap it out for game one. Again, a great showing from Mongolia in the early portion of the game. They even had some moments where they were able to